Kepler's laws of planetary motion. See, before we go to the Kepler's laws of planetary motion, initially we thought that the Earth is at the center, rest of the planets are revolving around the Earth. And it is the Ptolemy who proposed what is known as a geocentric theory. Geocentric theory means Earth is at the center, rest of the planets are revolving around the Earth in the orbit, and this was proposed by Ptolemy. Later, Copernicus proposed a heliocentric theory. Heliocentric theory means Sun is at the center and rest of the planets are revolving around the Sun. And it is a Copernicus who proposed that the Sun is at the center and rest of the planets are revolving around the Sun. Using this Copernicus heliocentric theory, it is a Tycho Brahe who determined the distances of different planets. Distances of different planets with Sun as the center. And it is a Kepler who proposed the planetary laws of motion. Kepler, he proposed the laws based on the Copernicus heliocentric theory. Remember, he proposed the laws based on the Copernicus heliocentric theory. Then what are the laws, Kepler's laws of planetary motion then? So according to the first law, it is called law of orbit. According to Kepler, every planet revolves around the Sun in an elliptical orbit with Sun at one of the focus. See, he says, Sun is here, and the planet, let me say Earth, is here. It is not only the Earth, every planet revolves around the Sun in an elliptical orbit with Sun at one of the focus. This is the statement. Every planet revolves around the Sun in an elliptical orbit with Sun at one of the focus. Look, if you take an ellipse, see in the ellipse, here is one focus and here is another focus. If Sun is at this focus and here Earth is revolving around the Sun, remember that. Or Sun may be here, and under that condition Earth is closer. When the Earth comes here, Earth is far away. Sun can be either here or here, and with Sun at one of the focus. Remember that. Every planet revolves around the Sun with Sun at one of the focus. This is the first law. It is called law of orbit, we call it as. Then we come to the second law. It's called law of area. According to this law, when the planet is revolving around the Sun in an elliptical orbit, it sweeps out equal areas in equal intervals of time. Very important. He says, here is, let us say, Sun. Here is the Sun. Suppose if the Sun is here, A, and he comes to the point B, then it sweeps out this much of area, and we shall call this area as SAB, area of SAB. When the planet comes from this position C to this position D, we will look at this area. You will see that, sir, this area may be more than this, you will say. No, it is not. This area is same as this area. Base is equal to the area of, it is SAB means it is SCD. That means area SAB is equal to area SCD. That means every planet sweeps out equal area in equal intervals of time. What is that equal interval? Suppose from here to here it will take 1 minute. Let me say this is the area. You calculate the area. Let us say it is 10. In the same 1 minute, You may feel that it is more. It's not more. If you calculate in 1 minute, this area is going to be equal to, so the same, that is 10. Therefore, area SAB is equal to area SAD. The statement is very simple. If the planets were revolving around the sun in an elliptical orbit, sweeps out equal area in equal intervals of time. That's all. Next, the third one is very important. And the second one only, we say that the aerial velocity is constant. We say that aerial velocity is equal to constant, we say. That means when we say that dA by dt is equal to constant, we say. Aerial velocity is constant. Next, the third law is also very simple and very important it is. According to third law, the square of the period of revolution is directly proportional to the cube of the mean distance between the planet and the sun. Means, the planet is revolving around the sun. What is the t? T is the period. He says you take the square of the period. That is directly proportional to the mean distance between the planet and the sun. Look, it is not a circle. If the circle is there, means the radius is constant. Here, this distance is more, this is less, it is least, and it is least. Therefore, he says you take the average distance between the planet and the earth. What is that average radius is? R. He says square of the period of revolution is directly proportional to cube of the mean distance between the planet and the sun. That is the third law. Sometimes they will ask you for 2 marks. If we say the same thing when he applies, for first planet it is T1 square. For the second square, for the second planet it is T2 square. And for the first planet distance is R1 cube. Second it is equal to R2 cube. Which implies your T1 by T2 is equal to R1 by R2. Remember, it is 3 by 2. Very important. And even you will get some of the questions in your competitive examination also. So the statement is always you should look at this. Square of the period of the revolution is directly proportional to the cube of the mean distance between the planet and the earth. So sometimes for 3 marks, sometimes they ask this question, state 3 laws of planetary motion. Or for 2 marks, state the 2 laws of planetary motion. For the first law, every planet revolves around the sun in an elliptical orbit with sun at one of the focus. Second one is, a planet sweeps out equal area in equal intervals of time while revolving around the sun in an elliptical orbit. The third one is, square of the period of revolution is directly proportional to the cube of the mean distance between the planet and the sun. That's the one. These are the 3 statements. And remember here, sometimes you will have a doubt, sir, how will you say that this area is same as this area? Remember, this is a point which is away. When it is away, we call it as a aphelion. Aphelion. Here it moves slower, planet moves slower. And the aphelion, it moves slower. When it comes to the perihelion, perihelion is the nearer point. When it is at the perihelion, it moves faster. So when it is away, it moves slower. When it is closer, it moves faster. Thereby, it sweeps out equal area in equal intervals of time. Okay? It's very important regarding the Kepler's laws of planetary motion. Now we come to very important thing is a satellite motion and the satellite. You know that the satellite is a celestial body. Satellite is a celestial body revolving around the planet. Revolving around the planet. That's all. So satellite is a celestial body revolving around the planet. You know that the Earth has only one natural satellite. That's the moon. Moon is the only natural satellite. Moon is the only natural satellite of the Earth. But remember, Earth has innumerable number of artificial satellite. Innumerable number of artificial satellite. Sir, which are those artificial satellites? Aryabhata, which was launched in 1975, April 9, and you have Bhaskara, you have Rohini, and now INSAT. All these are artificial satellites. Earth has it. This is launched from India. You know that the America has launched Explorer in 1959, and USSR, it has launched in 1958. What is known as the Sputnik? It's the first one, 1958 October they launched it. 3 months later, Americans launched Explorer. So that is how now each and every country has an artificial satellite, and it revolves around the Earth in the different orbits. And it is a satellite. You know that Earth has only one natural satellite, that's the moon. Rest of them are all artificial satellite. Remember, your Saturn, planet Saturn, has 21 natural satellites. 21 natural satellites, of which Titan is very important. So very important. This is a satellite motion. Now we look into how the satellite will be launched and what's the principle of launching the satellite. Okay? Before that, you take down on this.